Lower end of the market, we're seeing highs in sales, volume, and demand, lows in inventory, and kind of a mixed bag when it comes to month-over-month changes. Hi, this is John James with the James team at RE/MAX Partners. I'm coming to you with another Steamboat market update, this time for August 2021, and the lower end of the market, $250,000 to $750,000. And like I said, there is quite a bit going on here. We'll start with our three main indicators and kind of move on from there. And again, I'm going to touch on some of these month-over-month changes because they are starting to tell a little bit of a story. So let's get started with median sold price, which for August was $468,500. That's up 8% over the $434,000 we saw last year. And that's an increase of 3.8% from July to August. And so that's pretty much been hovering around the $450,000 mark since December of last year. So no major changes in median sales price up until this last month. So that was a big hop up from what we've seen in previous months. Number of sales, that's up 22%. That went from 522 to 636 this past August. And that, while it's up 22%, it's also the second straight drop month over month we've seen in closed listings. So yeah, we are much higher than we were last year, but we're starting to come off of that major peak. So we'll keep an eye on what's going on right there. And to follow along with that, we had the total dollar volume. That increased 26% from last year, where this year we have 303,169,881. Last year was just a little over 241 million. And again, just like with sales, this total sales volume had the same drop as it did with sales. Second straight month in a row where we've seen it come off the high that we had back in June. Looking at inventory, well, what are we going to see on a month-over-month basis? But let's look at year-over-year first. Days on market is 7. 7 days from list to contract. You compare that to last year where it was 35. That's an 80% drop. And 7 was pretty much where we saw that in July as well. So that's staying pretty steady. The month supply, there's only 1 month of inventory left in this price range. So that's a 73% drop from 3.7 months last year. And last year was when we were starting to see things ramp up and the demand really kick into high gear. So you can see from a month supply, that demand is still there and also tells you that the supply is not. And we see that reflected in active listings as well. They're down 68%, whereas last year we had 161. We only have 52 this year. And that would be fine if we had just active listings going off. If we had new listings coming on to replenish those, that would be great. But this is a biggie. New listings for this price segment, they're down, and they're down by 4%. So where we took 587 new listings in August of last year, only 52 this year, about 562 this year, pardon me. And that's concerning because we're not seeing as much new inventory come on the market when we need it. We definitely need new inventory to keep up with this demand. And, all that's going to do is create a price disparity. Those prices are going to keep on going up because the demand is still there, but there's just not enough inventory to back it up. Value. So we look at sales to list price ratio, what it sold for compared to what it was listed for. And in this regard, we're at 100%. That's up 2 points from last year. So again, this is where over asking price offers, multiple offer situations are creating this, this high value on the price compared to what it was listed for. List price is the starting price. Price per square foot, that also is going up quite a bit too. Last year was $342 a foot. Now it's at $396. That's a change of 16%. And price reductions, this is a big one right here. Price reductions are down to 15. That's a 40% drop from 25 last year, but it's also up from 14 in July. And now it's not big change, but when we start to see a pattern here, this is the 4th straight month of price reductions that we have seen. And that's a little telling. That tells you that those sellers who are really trying to push the price on in the market are getting a lot of pushback. So we'll see how that fares. Finally, looking into the future at pending listings, they are up 12% from 571 to 581. So 10 more pending listings compared to last year. But again, this is when we start looking at the month over month. Pending listings have kind of dropped off a cliff. They were off 8.5% from last month and off 17% from their peak in May. So we're looking at 3 straight months where it's dropped off pending listings. It goes back to inventory. We're just not seeing as much inventory where we need to. So there we have the lower end of the market. We're going to touch on the middle part from 750,000 to 2 million next, and then finally onto the luxury market. If you have any questions, please give me a call, 970-846-0797. Email me at johnjames@jamesteamsteamboat.com or leave me a comment in the video. If you want to subscribe to these, I'd be happy. Certainly happy to see you guys join the fold on this and keep up with us on a regular basis. In the meantime, take care. Thanks a lot.